Hey everybody, welcome back to Run and Gun. We are here in Lightroom and I'm going to show you guys how to make your sunsets pop and just explode with color without over editing. It's so easy to over edit sometimes, but I really enjoy the way this sunset turned out. Here's the before, here's the after, and this is what we are going to do right now, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a virtual copy. So I'm going to right click here on our image, scroll down to create virtual copy. And you will see down in our film strip, we have this little copy here with this folded dog-eared page kind of edge over here. And that is our virtual copy. So I can go to settings and reset all settings. So you can see here is the beginning. We are starting completely from scratch. One of the most important things to do when editing your images is to correct that horizon. So we're going to do a little bit of an adjustment here. Crop our image and straighten out that horizon and kind of fix our composition here a little bit. Just a little bit of an adjustment, make sure that horizon is straight, and then hit enter when we're done. That's already a massive improvement. And I was a little bit limited because I was using a rock as a tripod, so my photo was a little crooked, and I intended to fix that in Lightroom. So now we're going to go over to our calibration tab. And I'm going to adjust some little things here to play with the color. Don't take this too far because you can get some wild colors, but I'm just going to make our sunset a little more purple, just a little bit. And then make our hues a little more orange in our sunset. And this seems a little bit minimal right now, but you guys will see the difference here in the end when I turn this tab on and off. So now we're going to increase the saturation in our oranges. Remember, don't take it too overkill. We don't want to give that kind of crappy HDR look. Going to turn our greens here a little more towards the bluish. You'll notice that in the sky here when we're done. Bump up that saturation just a touch. I'll bump this up a little bit more. There we go. Bump up that saturation. Again, we're affecting our blues here in the clouds. You can see dark stormy gray clouds, oversaturated blue. So we want to find something kind of a happy medium here, around 26. We're going to do the same thing. Our blues, make them a little bit dark blue, kind of purpley in our sunset, and then add a touch of saturation. I think that looks good. That's already starting to make some color kind of pop out in the sunset. And turn that off and then on, and you can see just that little color shift. And again, it's going to make a huge difference here in the end. So let's close this tab. So next we're going to go down to our basic tab, and the first thing I'm going to do with almost all of my Lightroom edits when I'm doing a landscape photograph, I'm going to hit Adobe Landscape for my color profile. That just gives me some nice saturation, some smooth tones here, and I think we're looking pretty good already. We're making a massive difference from where we started. You can see that's where we're going, and this is where we're at right now. And if I reset all of our settings, you could see that kind of flat image is where we started. So let's keep on going. We have our Adobe Landscape profile here. I'm going to warm up our color temperature quite a bit. Really get some warmth into this sunset. This is kind of how I remember it. It wasn't that cool. Somewhere around 9700 I think is safe. Add just a touch of magenta. 9, 10, 12, whoops, 9, 10, 12, there we go. And here we go. We're starting to look like how I remembered this. We're going to bring our exposure up just a touch. Want to bring out just a little bit of that detail in the rock, but not too much. We don't want to blow out our highlights. Theoretically, I wish I would have taken, an HDR of this, but it's very hard when you're doing long exposures of moving water. So this is just a single exposure. And we're going to go ahead, turn up our contrast. Let's see, around 30s, starting to look good. Turn down our highlights to kind of salvage the highlights here. Now, when we're editing portraits, I recommend not cranking your highlights or shadows all the way to the left or right. But when it comes to landscape and you have a lot of data in your raw image, there's a lot you can do with these sliders. Again, just be careful that you're not over cranking anything. But this does not look bad at all. We're saving a lot of detail in these highlights in our raw photo. So that is the power of raw there and why you guys should be shooting raw. Now we're going to bring up our shadows here. Not too much, About 85 looks good. And we're starting to bring out some of the shadows in the rocks. Over here, you can see these shadows are still dark, and that's good. We do need some, pure black in our image. We need some bright whites. We need that contrast, and we need tones on both ends. And we don't want to bring it up too much and make it look unrealistic. So let's bring it down just a hint. I think that's good. We'll bring up our whites just a little bit. You can kind of see what that does. That just adds a bit of kind of a burning glow here to that sunset, makes it feel nice and warm. Turn down our blacks a hint. That's good. Just to add some very black shadows, because you don't want to have flat blacks in here and make your image look too matte. I think that looks pretty good right there. We'll just add a hint of texture. If you zoom in here, we can see a little more texture in that rock. That's looking pretty good. A very, very tiny hint of clarity. Just a little bit. Again, you don't want to over crank this. That looks really, really bad. We just want a tiny, tiny bit of that mid-tone contrast. You can see that kind of makes these rocks pop out. That looks good. I'll do a tiny bit more texture. There we go. Adding a little bit of detail to the rock, to these edges here. That looks nice and sharp. That looks great. And maybe a tiny, tiny bit of dehaze. There we go. Just for a little more of that contrast. I think somewhere around 20-ish looks good. And I'm actually really happy with the way this is looking right now. I'm going to reset the settings just so you guys can kind of see the before and after. So we'll reset all of our settings. Look how kind of cool and boring that looks. And I mean cool as in the color. It doesn't really look cool. This is a very terrible looking raw photo. Hit Command Z, and this is where we are so far. And I think this is looking pretty darn good. And now I'm going to bring our vibrance up a touch, probably somewhere around 20 to 30. So with that, I think our basic treatment to this image and our basic toning is looking pretty darn good. I will close our basic tab. So you'll notice I'm skipping over the tone curve. I actually did not do anything to the tone curve for this image. The sunset looks like it's nice and bright over here. That's over in this part of our histogram. We have some nice dark blacks, nice and rich blacks over here. That's in this far left area of our histogram, and we have a good range of tones here in the mid-tone, some highlights, some shadows, and I'm very happy with the way this looks. I really don't think I need to do anything with our tone curve. So next I will go down to our detail tab, and let's select a part of our image that looks sharp over here in this corner. And on digital photography, I'm always going to sharpen my image just a hint, somewhere between 60 and 70. Add some sharpness there. Keep my radius around 1, sometimes a little less than 1, like 0.8, 0.9. Turn up my detail a hint. And that's looking pretty good. Another thing I'm going to do is turn up my masking. I'm going to hold down Option on a Mac, and you'll see it turns my screen white to show me the mask. And I'm going to drag over to the right, and you'll see everywhere on this image that is white is being sharpened, and everywhere that is black is not being sharpened. And I really just want the edges sharpened. I don't need these clouds up here sharpened because that's going to bring out a lot of noise in the sky, and we don't need that. So we're going to turn up this mask to about right there. It looks good. 10, 11, 12. I may even push it a little farther. I think that looks good. Now you can see our sky is pretty smooth and our rocks are nice and sharp. We didn't bring out any extra noise in the sky, but we did bring out a little bit of detail here in the rock. So if you turn that on and off, you can see a little bit flat and then nice and tack sharp. That looks pretty darn good. So let's close our detail tab. Actually, before we close this tab, let's add a little bit of noise reduction. I can see a little bit of noise here in the sky. So again, I'm going to hold Option on the keyboard. It's going to turn our image black and white so we can focus on just the noise, and maybe turn up noise reduction somewhere around 10, 12. That's looking a little bit better. All right, I'm very happy with that. Let's go ahead and close our detail tab. So the next thing we're going to do is open up our HSL, or Hue, Saturation, and Luminance tab down here. And we're going to make some minor adjustments, nothing too overboard, just some minor color adjustments. Let's start off with our hue. I think our reds look good. I don't want to turn them pink, but I absolutely can. I want to turn them maybe just a little bit orange. I think that looks good. Take our yellows, turn them a little bit orange. Just a hint. Somewhere around there. That looks pretty good. Take some more of these kind of greenish yellows, bump them over towards orange. Again, you don't want to take anything too far. That looks all right. Let's maybe take our blues and move them a hint towards cyan. I think I'm happy with that. And let's leave the rest of our hue alone. Again, we don't want to go too far, but we can see the before and after is just so subtle. A little bit in our blues, a little bit in our oranges. So let's go ahead and adjust our saturation of our hues. And remember, you can always click this targeted adjustment tool and click and drag down for both your hue, saturation, and luminance, and drag up to add saturation. Remember, be careful. I'm gonna hit Command Z on that. That's a little too much. Don't overcook your image. Just, subtle edits make a huge difference. So I'm gonna take our oranges, hit that targeted adjustment tool, and bring down our oranges ever so slightly because we don't want them oversaturated. Now, I love sunsets, and the key to making your sunsets pop and not burning out your eyeballs is to not oversaturate your image. Next, I'm gonna turn down the saturation in our blues and our teals just a little bit. You guys can see it's a little bit oversaturated, so I can select, drag down to turn down the saturation. -20 works pretty well. We didn't bring down the saturation in our sky too much, just these blues and the rocks, because we don't need our rocks to look like a nuclear glowing blue. Maybe I'll turn down the purples just a hair. And let's see, maybe the greens too. I can see this rock is kind of green there. That looks pretty good right there. Let's play with our luminance now. The blues are looking a little bit bright. Maybe I'll darken up that blue sky just a touch. Maybe I'll bring down some of these oranges just a hint. You can see what's happening right here when I play with our oranges and yellows. Now, if I bring down the luminance, you can see we're making sure that our sunset here is not clipping and we're getting some nice color and some nice detail. If I were to turn up the luminance, now it's clipped and it's white. If I turn it down, we actually get our detail back here, and I think that looks pretty darn good. Let's see if I can do that with the oranges. Ooh, I like that. That looks good. And maybe a little bit with the aqua tones. Let's zoom out. Let's see what that does. That's not doing too much. I'll leave that at 0. So a little side note, if I don't see a slider doing anything, and you can see it's making a very minimal edit, I really don't care about this darkness up here. I'm gonna reset this to 0 because, again, if it's not making much of a difference, I like to set it back to 0 because let's say, for example, I went up to calibration and I started making edits in calibration and some weird color changes started happening that I didn't know what was going on. It's probably because I messed with something down here and it didn't take effect until I started messing with something up there. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. If your slider's not doing something, just leave it alone. Maybe it's going to do something later, so just go ahead, leave it alone if it's not making any changes. So that's looking pretty darn good. The only thing I'm noticing here is we can probably make some lens corrections. So let's go to our lens correction tab. And I'm gonna start with enable profile corrections, and that looks pretty good. You can see if we turn that off and turn it back on, we just kind of straightened out our horizon. We got rid of some of this distortion, and we also got rid of some of the heavy vignetting that was there. Now, the default amount is too much. You can see I photographed this on a 14mm f2.8, so we did have a touch of distortion, but I would like some of that distortion back, and I would like just a hint of that vignetting back because I don't want my corners looking too bright. So if we go ahead and turn that off, turn it back on, I think that looks pretty good. We can also see what our HSL color tab was doing. If we turn that off, turn it back on, and then remember our calibration, I said it was gonna look very different at the end. If we turn that off and then turn it back on, you can see we added some of those purples, we added a touch of saturation without going overkill and overcooking this image. So we'll turn that off, turn it back on, and you guys can now see what those minor adjustments in your calibration tab did to our image. So let's go ahead, let's reset all these settings, and that was the before. This image was very cool. We lost a lot of detail. This feels very underexposed. I kind of had to underexpose a stop or two to be able to save our highlight data here, which you can see in this histogram. And luckily there was a lot of data still here in the shadows and the blacks that allowed us to pull out a lot of shadow detail. So I'm gonna hit Command Z on the keyboard. And this is our final edit. I'm quite happy with the way this turned out. I also want to give a shout out to Sheldon on Facebook. Thank you for your suggestion of doing an edit on a beach photo. I think it turned out pretty good. I hope you learned something. And always remember, if you're interested in knowing how an image was edited, let me know down below in the comments, and I may do a tutorial on it if there's enough interest. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. If you did learn something, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friend, and be sure to turn on your notifications as well so you're not missing any of my Lightroom edits. So until next time, get out and go shoot.